It's 10 Count Vlog!
Hello and welcome to the 10 Count Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Tiller. Wherever you are and however you're listening, thanks for making us a part of your day. Before we go any further, we are fan and listener supported, bringing this podcast to you for free every Saturday. Check us out on iTunes and SoundCloud. Subscribe and get the latest podcasts downloaded directly to your phone every week. While you're at it, go ahead and rate us on iTunes. That's the easiest way to support 10 Count Podcast. Rating us helps us grow our audience and hopefully attract some sponsors. You can also visit our website, 10countblog.wordpress.com. We post every podcast there as well as some cool blog entries. This week, check out our press release announcing our newest partner, New Wave Pro Wrestling in Terre Haute. You can also check out our social media and podcast page. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also check out some of the podcasts that inspire us to make 10 Count Podcast every week. And last but definitely not least, be sure to check out our local indie promotions page. We've provided links to some of the area's hottest indie promotions. That's all at 10countblog.wordpress.com. Well, this week we're doing something a little bit different. 10 Count Podcast went live from Tri-State Wrestling's Night of Champions last weekend, and I gotta say, it was a blast. We did a little Ms. TV meets serious journalism, and the result was better than anything we could have hoped for. We went a little more kayfabe with this one. We still got a lot of great real moments, though. You know, those are what we're known for here at 10 Count Podcast. Our guests for the evening were Sweet Daddy B. Barry Baker, Zane Arkham, and the now retired Johnny Watts. We also had some audience participation and a cameo appearance from our friends of the show, Mike Blitz and Michael Madrox, the Juggernauts. You can also hear a little bit of fun in the background from the 381 family. The audio quality is good, but remember it was recorded live, so it's a little bit different than what you're used to. And also something extremely important that we need everyone to know. We'd like everyone to keep in mind that some of these interviews were done in character, and things that were said, particularly at the end of the podcast, are not necessarily the views and opinions of 10 Count Podcast. We want to make sure we give our friends at Rollick a plug. They've allowed us to use their song Snorkeling into Oblivion as the official theme for the 10 Count Podcast. Be sure and head on over to Facebook, give them a like, and take a minute and download their latest album. They're giving it to you for free. Enjoy the mayhem. It was the first time we've tried this, and we're looking forward to doing it again. Here's the 10 Count Podcast live from TSW Night of Champions. There we go. That's a little bit better. Well, I just wanted to let everybody know we are fan and listener supported. How many of you have iPhones or Androids? Yeah, okay.
How many have food stamps?
Would you be nice?
Just wondering.
All right, if you got iPhone, Android, check us out on iTunes, SoundCloud, 10 Count Podcast. That's the number 10, 10 Count Podcast. Check us out there. You can actually subscribe. Every week we have a new podcast, an interview with a different wrestler from this company and other indie wrestling companies around the area. The latest episode is with Sean Franklin, formerly known as the Don Tony V. Be sure to check us out. We are fan and listener supported. The best way that you can support us is to go and rate us on iTunes. Give us a 5-star rating, help us find some sponsors, and grow our listenership.
You had one mistake that you made. Sean Franklin is known as the turncoat.
Anyway, so my first guest for the evening, we're going to talk to Sweet Daddy B. Barry Baker. Everybody, let him know how you feel about him. That doesn't sound very positive.
I'll take this. I'm getting out of here. I'm leave. Freeloaders.
Yeah. Well, Barry, let's just first and foremost start off with what we are doing here tonight. Of course, the biggest event of the summer, TSW Night of Champions.
Yep, it is.
So talk a little bit about the inception of this event. You've been doing this for quite a few years now. Talk a little bit about why you guys started doing this.
This is our second or third year. I don't remember because I'm so damn bored with it. But it's kind of like the Jesse Meredith Memorial. This guy used to wrestle for us. One hell of a guy, a hell of a wrestler. Kind of left us too early. And it's for him, but that's what we named the show after, the Jeffrey Memorial Meredith Memorial Show. But there's a lot more involved than that. There's a lot more. Like tonight, we got we got 3 or 4 shirts back there, 4 tickets for the next show, and a lot more surprises too. Just going to be a big show, I'm certain.
And I agree with that, Barry. So talk a little bit about what's going on tonight, some of the matches that you're looking forward to.
Well, I'm looking forward to all of them because my guys all going to win.
How do you guys feel about that?
Whoa!
Hey, back off.
Whoa, 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 whoa! How can you have a special live podcast and not invite the most listened to guest in the history of your show?
You come on later on, boy.
I didn't expect you guys to be here.
They are.
How can you not expect the Juggernauts to be here?
Who's this guy standing over?
We're live feeding right now on Facebook.
What's happening?
Everybody here, well, not really everybody here, but there's a lot of people here that can come back and watch this. It's a live feed for your 10 Count podcast, live on Facebook. Yes, you're live, Barry. There's people all over Vincent's that aren't here yet or watching.
Are you done yet so I can have the microphone back?
No, because you know what? Since day one, since me and this guy walked through the door, nothing but disrespect. We are the most listened to podcast, but yet we don't get invited?
You're next.
And that is a fair point. These guys had a 2-part podcast a little bit, what was it, about 3-4 weeks ago, something like that?
It was so boring, I don't remember.
Yeah, 2-part podcast, and combined, they had over 500 listens. A lot of great information, a lot of great stories on
It's all
those.
family and stuff like that. It wasn't nobody important.
Let's just do our own Juggernaut podcast.
Juggernaut podcast. You guys go ahead and do your thing. We're going to do ours
Juggernaut
live.
podcast.
Where's my security at? Security?
You gotta drink the Kool-Aid.
Drink the Kool-Aid. Juggerade, baby. Juggerade.
Just go ahead and ask me the
Come buy
questions.
some. The
All right.
They ain't even here.
So we're going to go ahead and try to answer some more questions for you, Barry. So first and foremost, talk a little bit about, again, the question that we got interrupted
Let's talk
from.
about this night. I mean, there's a lot of good matches.
What are you most expecting, looking forward to tonight?
Well, in the main event, Zach Hogan versus Will Braid. That's a no-brainer. Zach Hogan.
I ain't doing about it.
And my man, Sheik Abdul Merrick, against Sergeant, whatever his name is. I don't even pay attention. He beat him so many times, he looked like a redhead stepchild. He's going to win that one, Abdul is. Yeah, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you starting there, Stanley Roberts.
They don't even care about us.
They're talking about Stanley Roberts.
Who cares about you?
We're the most listened to podcast in 10 Count history.
People care about us. If it wasn't for us, none of these people would be here.
These boys are off.
They'd be at the dentist getting all their teeth fixed.
These
Come
bo-
on now.
These boys are off their meds right now, so you don't have to pay much attention to them. And I mean, it'll be a good show all the way around. It's a foregone conclusion who's going to win
I think
because.
we should go around and ask some people some questions.
Yeah.
Let's go ask some people some questions.
Yeah, you get just as long as you get out of my hair.
So,
Let's go find people.
interesting turn of events. The Juggernauts show up, and they're going to go ask some live questions. You're going to be live on Facebook, everyone. So,
They're like cockroaches. You can't get rid of them.
oh my goodness, guys, let's not abuse the crowd, please. This is running off the rails really fast.
You go with them. You go out with them.
Okay, so let's try to get this thing back on the rails a little bit.
Yeah, please.
Yes. Okay. So Barry, talk a little bit about this event. You talked about the inception of it and how it's for Jesse Meredith, and we've also got the TSW Hall of Fame happening
right.
tonight. So talk a little bit about the inductees for the TSW Hall of Fame.
Well, I don't want to tell you who it's going to be because that's kind of be a surprise. But believe me, all of them have earned it. They're real good people, and much as I hate to admit it, they're actually nice people. And I thought I was the only nice one in here. Shut up! See, this is the kind of hillbillies you get around here. You damn hicks.
I'm not sure what's going on right now. We can hear the crowd in the background. They are going nuts.
Right back here, hold it.
Hold on.
Hey, Bareback, my main man. My buddy right there. He's my pal. He's my friend. How you doing, Bareback?
I'm doing sensational since I've seen you.
And guys, this has gone off the rails.
Cracker Jack, bareback.
And the Juggernauts are back.
Dressing room, get ready. What you're supposed to do tonight?
All right, Jason.
Don't look it.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
I'm not interested in that,
that out of
particularly
here.
because I know what's in it.
Drink the
Drink
Kool-Aid.
the Kool-Aid.
No thanks.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
Not interested.
No Kool-Aid.
What are you gonna do? Tie me up?
Been there, done that. I got a T-shirt.
And you enjoyed it.
Whatever. All right, guys. So Barry, looking forward to the event this evening, and thank you so much for putting it on. Okay. What do you got? What do you have left to say,
I
sir?
don't know what the hell she's doing standing there.
Baby, I'm
Let's go get
everywhere.
some more fans. All right.
See those handcuffs she's got on? They earned them up in Illinois State Prison.
We sure did, baby. We sure did.
But yeah, and one more thing I want to say that we're actually doing a benefit tonight for Lindsay Carey Robbins.
Absolutely.
And she lost her boyfriend real sudden-like. Went to the hospital. He didn't come out. 30 years old or so. So we got to get all the money to her. And I'm looking forward to a big night, real big night.
Absolutely. And that's one of the great things about TSW is that everything you guys do here, you do for charity.
We're the only ones, by the way. We're the only ones that gave the money away.
Well, we're very excited to be a part of TSW. Excited to look forward to.
I imagine you are excited.
I'm always excited for wrestling. So, all right, Barry, thank you so much for being on the 10 Count Podcast tonight. It was a pleasure.
Your pleasure, I'm sure.
Thank you, the Juggernauts, for being on your 10 Count podcast here tonight. Yeah, it was a great honor. You know what? Maybe we shouldn't even be here. Screw Night of Champions. You know, maybe we won't even be in this battle.
Screw
royal.
10 Count Blog. I mean,
Yeah.
we made you famous, and this is the thanks we get.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Whatever you say. Whatever you say.
Barry should go break his hip anytime now.
I'm beginning to feel a little uncomfortable.
Break a hip?
This has gone off the rails, guys. Thank you all so much.
When you were tied up.
Actually, I don't know.
Yeah, I know you kind of enjoyed that.
I kind of did.
Okay.
So anyway, thank you guys. So everybody say thank you to Barry Baker for being on the 10 Count Podcast. All right, we have a couple more guests we're going to interview this evening, and our next guest is somebody who is currently, he's battling cancer. He is one of the guys who gets to perform on a pretty limited basis. He's one of the top faces in this company. Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest is Zane Arkham. Zane, oh my gosh, that first segment just went way off the rails.
I was wondering if I was going to have to send security out here. Well, I mean, you got one standing there. He's kind of not doing much, but
I was about to say, he didn't do much of anything. He just kind of sat there and laughed at us.
yeah, I was watching it and I was like, wow, that's actually kind of crazy. That was getting nuts. I was like, I'm glad I'm not out there.
Oh my word. We've been joined by Bareback Jack. Of course, he was on episode 5 of the 10 Count Podcast. Bareback Jack, he joined us, told a lot of great stories.
My friend, Bareback Jack.
Yep. And he made it very clear that he is no one's sidekick. So, Jack, thank you for joining us, and thank you. Bye-bye.
First thing I want to say is you should be talking to somebody that actually matters in this business, not this guy. So if you want to talk to a real person that's involved in this business, not some little suit wearing little nobody, just look me up. I'll be in the back.
Fair enough. Okay. Thank you, Bareback Jack.
Real quick, give a round of applause for Likes It Bareback Jack. Oh, and he walked away. Sad face, not.
Yep. So, Zane, I am so happy to have you. Of course, you were on episode 3 of the 10 Count Podcast. You were actually the second person to do the full podcast format with me. And we worked out some of the kinks with our first one. How are you doing with, I know you had cancer. Talk a little bit about how your recovery's going.
Well, I'm in the middle of it. I'm still doing radiation treatment, which started this past weekend, which because of it, my brain's swelling, so I cannot wrestle due to risking brain injuries. So unfortunately, I will be out of the ring for the foreseeable future for any full contact matches. Don't be surprised if you don't see me hackling those rejects. But for the foreseeable future, I cannot have an official TSW match where I'm in there competing against someone else for something that matters to me, which would be TSW title, whatever. But I will say this, at my last match, which was the Battle Royale in Monroe City, I did win that match and earn a match of my choosing when I won it. So that's a plus. So that you can definitely see when I come back in September.
Absolutely. I think I speak for everybody in this room when I say we are looking forward to the return of Zane Arkham. How does everybody feel about that? Yeah, that's kind of weak, don't you think?
It's okay.
Yeah. How does everybody feel about Zane Arkham returning?
A little bit better.
That's a little bit better. We'll go with that.
It works better when I come out and I kick people in the face like Zach Hogan and
Yeah.
the people that deserve it. That's when you really see the fans get behind me and hit this old man in the face a couple times, which
I don't remember it.
I'm surprised you remember your own name.
Real proud of kicking a 32-year-old man in the face.
32-year-old.
32?
32, like 32 years ago.
Okay, so anyway, moving on. I'm glad to hear that your recovery is going well, and looking forward to getting you back in the ring. But in the meantime, you've been working on a couple really cool causes, and one of the big ones is the Frontline Anti-Bullying Movement. Talk a little bit about that, Zane, and what it's all about.
Well, me and my friend Tyler Gibbs, which I was hoping to get him here, but of course life happens, he wasn't able to get here. He came up to me with this idea of really redirecting the area on the main focus of what's happening in the area, which is bullying. A lot of people don't realize that bullying still happens. Sometimes it's even just cyberbullying, but it still happens. So me and Tyler came together, which he's in charge of Hella Hype Designs, and as you know, he's designed several things for TSW. And we're just trying to get together to remind everybody that bullying's still happening, and it's up to us as a generation to help put an end to that. It's not just going to go away by itself. We have to stand up and make a stand. So that's what it's about.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think bullying has become a problem in today's school because it's so advanced nowadays. I mean, you look at the advent of the internet.
You like bullies.
Well, Barry likes bullies, but that explains a lot. But the advent of the internet and some of the, just the ease of communication nowadays and the ease that you can communicate anonymously, I think it's become one of those situations where people they feel more comfortable bullying people because they are faceless behind a keyboard. Talk a little bit about that.
You're right, completely. And I mean, you see it all the time. As we all know, TSW has a strong presence on Facebook and Twitter, and I'm the one that monitors those. And I see people all the time, including on my own Facebook, where they're sharing stories of people bullying people on Facebook or being quote-unquote Facebook warriors, where because they're behind a keyboard, they feel like they can say whatever and stand up and talk trash, but they're safe behind the keyboard. And that's part of bullying. I mean, you're bullying somebody because of something they did or something you don't like about them, and you're just using a keyboard. You're being a Facebook warrior. And it's just something that it really gets on my nerve and stuff like that. I'm not a big fan of that, and I think people shouldn't use social media for that avenue. Social media is something that's amazing, and it's there to help you connect with your friends and connect with your past, and also build, if you've got movements like myself or Tri-State Wrestling, it's there to help you build that stuff. It's not there to downgrade and belittle other people because you feel strong behind a keyboard.
Yeah, absolutely. So what types of things are Frontline Anti-Bullying Movement working on right now? I know you've got a couple different initiatives, but what's actually going out to the public at this moment?
Right now, we're really still just trying to build the Army up. We're still trying to get out there. Me and Tyler have got some projects in mind that we're working on. We want to we want to have some kind of event like that, but as we all know, it comes down to venues and things of that nature. But we are slowly working towards that. Right now, we're just trying to build up the Army and get our name out there, and hopefully then we can take the next step and actually have a get-together and do some more stuff in the community.
Okay, well, I think it is, I speak for myself and all of my associates at 10 Count when I say you have the full support of 10 Count Blog in this initiative. So Zane Arkham, I apologize for that. So talk a little bit about tonight. We've got the Hall of Fame, and of course we tried to talk to Barry a little bit before everything just kind of went to crap. Yeah, so slip of the tongue. That's live radio, guys. That happens. There is no editing here. But anyway, so talk a little bit about the TSW Hall of Fame, some of the guys that are going in, and how excited are you for this?
Well, this is actually, I do believe, our 3rd year doing the Hall of Fame. It's probably about our 5th year doing the Night of Champions, but only the 3rd year doing the Hall of Fame. We got some really great people going in there. We've got 2 fans. Every year we always put 2 fans that, have been close to the TSW or their family's been close to the TSW, and we've done events for them, things of that nature. And then we always induct 3 people. This year I'm really happy about some of the guys that are going in. One, I can honestly say we brought, me and my tag team partner brought him in and really built him up as a manager. He's a friend, he's family, really. And then we've got 2 other great people. One of them is actually someone that trained me partially, like one of my many mentors I've had in the business. And then the other one was a pain in my ass for years because him and Sir Charles held my contract and made me do some things for about a year that I didn't feel comfortable doing, beating down people and pretty much just doing whatever. But they had my contract at the time, and so I just went with the punches. But everybody getting inducted tonight really, I felt like, deserves it. And when the TSW, when they brought the final 5 to me, I was really happy with who the 5 are, and it's going to be a great night.
Well, I'm excited to see the ceremony. And Zane, talk a little bit about what you give these guys. I know that TSW kind of breaks the mold of presentations for Hall of Fame inductees. What do you have for our inductees tonight?
Well, each inductee will get a custom-made certificate signed by Barry, Bareback Jack, and Coach Ken Powers, the 3 top powers in the company. That pretty much states the year that they were inducted. They've been certified with all the benefits for it. And then because I'm ex-military and I've always enjoyed a good dog tag, our Hall of Fame inductees get dog tags. They get dog tags that they can wear. Bareback still wears his from when he was inducted, which that was a mistake to do, but it's cool. But it's got their name, TSW, the year they were inducted, and it's just really something great that I think stands out from normal Hall of Fames. I mean, it's not every day that you get a dog tag. Most time it's restricted to the military, or if you go out and get it yourself. But so I wanted to do something that was really cool and different when we created this 3 years ago. So I went with the dog tags.
Yeah, who needs a ring? Because who's getting married, right?
Yeah, I lose rings. I've had so many rings over the time. Some of them were just random rings. Like I had a Batman ring at one point in time. I really like Batman. I was like, yeah, and I lost that ring. So I was like, yeah, rings get lost. I was like, I've had my dog tags since my ex-military times, and now I have dog tags that are specially made for some of the inductions that I've done, and I wear those. One of them is actually Drake Graven, Jesse Meredith, and then the other one is for my first ever fan in TSW when he passed away for cancer. We inducted him into the Hall of Fame, and then I added a dog tag to my necklace for him.
Very cool. So let's talk a little bit about the event this evening. What are some of the matches that you are looking forward to? I know Sweet Daddy B, he said he's looking forward to Zach Hogan versus Will Bray, and that's an I Quit match for the TSW World Heavyweight Champion. Everybody excited for that match? Is everybody excited for that match? Thank you. I got a hype man up here. But
at least he's doing something, right?
He's doing something. Anyway, but what are some of the matches that you're looking forward to, Zane?
To be honest, the first one, the Battle Royale in memory of Jesse. That's always one of the greatest Battle Royales I see in a year because there's always surprises. You never know who's going to be in that Battle Royale. You can see some greats, Bo Sawyer, things of that nature that haven't been around in a long time. You can see them pop in, and it's just great to see that happen. If I'd have to choose another match, the Championship Scramble match with Benny Bray, Big T, and Excalibur. That's going to be another good match. I want to see if Benny walks away with that AWA Memorial title. I think it's going to be a close one.
Yeah, I think that'll be a fun match to watch too. Zane, we are wrapping up here, but how can people support you?
Just really the only way I can ask for support is just support TSW because this is something that I care about and this is where everything's at to me. So as long as you keep supporting TSW, I'm happy. I don't ask for much. I'm battling cancer. I'm done here in hopefully a month as long as everything goes well, knock on wood. So I'm just going to keep doing that. Just keep supporting TSW and I'll be happy.
Absolutely. Everybody give it up for Zane Arkham. Come on. Give it up for Zane Arkham. Absolutely. Before we have our final guest, I am going to...
Ask me again.
Okay.
Do I sit down again? Am I going to be the next guest?
You're not the next guest, Barry.
Why not?
Because you've already gone.
I'm right here.
I'm sorry.
Who's going to be your next guest?
Well, we'll announce him in just a second. But first, I want to go around and I want to do a little bit of live audience participation. How's everybody doing tonight? All right. I saw your hand first, so I want to know, what is your name and where are you from?
Julie Webster, and I'm from Sumner, Illinois.
From Sumner, Illinois. I'm from Lawrenceville. It's good to see you. Well, we'll go that way. So I got to ask you, how do you feel about Sweet Daddy B?
Oh, God. I don't.
You don't feel about him? You have no feelings?
You know what you just said,
Okay.
oh God? That's what you said last night about this time.
Oh, my word. Let's not abuse this is a PG show. Come on.
I didn't say nothing.
There are impressionable children who listen to this show.
I'll take him home then.
Oh, my word. All right, who's next? 10 Count Podcast Live. I see a hand back there. All right, give me a second. I got to run, and I'm a fat man, and it doesn't work very well. So, all right, what's your name and where are you from?
Dawn Fifth, Vincent's, Indiana.
And Don, I got to ask you, how do you feel about that man right over there?
He sucks.
He sucks? Can you elaborate on that? Why does he suck?
Because he cheats.
I agree with that statement. We got a couple other... Who's next? 10 Count Podcast Live audience participation. I got this gentleman right here, and he has got the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. What's your name, bud, and where are you from?
Braden, I'm from Vincent, Indiana.
Okay, Braden? Is that correct, Braden?
It's spelled B-R-A-Y-D-E-N.
Okay, so Braden, how do you feel about Sweet Daddy B?
I don't know about him, but I think he's pretty awesome.
Okay, who's your favorite wrestler in TSW?
Johnny.
Johnny is your favorite wrestler? Well, I'm going to tell you something, Braden. That was the best segue you could have done because our next guest...
What did he say?
He said his favorite wrestler is Johnny Watts.
What did he say for that?
He said you were okay, I guess.
What did you say really?
I don't know.
Put that mic down,
What did you say?
He sucks.
There we go. He sucks. Barry sucks. So anyway, we are done with audience participation at this point, but I am going to say this. Braden had the best segue ever because our next guest is Mr. Johnny Watts.
Come on, big boy.
Well, Johnny, it looks like they cut your music a little bit short. And Johnny is getting ready here for his interview. He is so excited. Let's hear it for Johnny. Let's hear it a little bit louder than that. Come on.
I want cookies!
You want what?
I want cookies!
And I can attest to that because he was actually at my house on Thursday evening. We filmed predictions for this event. So if you haven't checked out our YouTube page, there is still time. You can check out 10 Count Blog on YouTube and check out our video with predictions for TSW Night of Champions featuring Johnny Watts and someone else, Mr. Blaine Black. Is that correct? Yeah, that guy. So anyway, Johnny, I'm so excited to have you on the 10 Count Podcast. Once again, Johnny Watts, ladies and gentlemen, was the inaugural guest on 10 Count Podcast. Sir, you have come full circle.
Well, I have gained a little weight.
All right. Well, Johnny, this is a very special event for you, and I saved you for last for this particular reason. Johnny, talk a little bit about the meaning of this event for you.
Well, this event especially is the whole reason that I came back this 1 year ago today, because the Battle Royal was put in speed about 2 years ago when my friend Jesse Meredith, Dre Graven, how everybody knows him, when he passed away, they put it in his honor in this night of this. This is our WrestleMania, everybody. This is WrestleMania for TSW, right? And this is the whole reason I came. I didn't care if I, won matches, I lost matches. I could care less. I only wanted to do one match, and then I got stuck to doing the whole year. This is the night. This is the day. This is the time that I came back for it. And win, lose, or draw, that Battle Royal is mine. That is my match. And I'm not usually really like, I'm going to get it and everything like that. Unless it involves cookies and milk, I'm there. But this is a different story.
Fair enough. Now, Johnny, talk a little bit about why this event is so special to you.
Well, Jesse was like a brother to me, and whenever I heard about his death, I was already out of the wrestling business for a little while, and then it stuck a knife in my heart, and it was I was asked to come back to do a match here and induct him in the Hall of Fame whenever it first started, and I was going to do it about a month out. I was like, I can't, I can't do it. I'm not strong enough. And about a year ago, that's when I decided it's time. If I'm going to do this, it's now. And I honestly didn't think I was going to last the whole year out because it's been an emotional roller coaster for me personally. But just being here tonight, I can say I finally did it. I made it. I made it to the dance, kind of,
Yeah, absolutely. And how does everybody in this room feel about Johnny Watts winning the Jesse Meredith Memorial Battle Royal? If you check out...
He's yellow, that's why he's going to win.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, I have orange, yellow, purple, blue, and red, green, and white. So I got it pretty much all the colors. You're only half right.
Oh, I'm talking rainbow, boy.
Uh-huh. You need to go back to the nursing home, Grandpa.
Oh my gosh. For those who didn't hear, Barry called Johnny yellow. He's trying to make this segment go off the rails like his did. I can't help that the Juggernauts came out, dude. I can't. I just can't help it.
Ask Johnny who he's going to fight tonight. My very own grandson, he's going to make a fool out of you.
Well, we'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later on. Anyway, so, Johnny, you're in the Jesse Meredith Memorial Battle Royal tonight. Looking forward to everything that's coming for you. Now, talk a little bit about what you got going on outside of wrestling. I know you got a few things that you're working on, specifically your clown ministry, and that you brought your pin to the ring. And if you can't see that, be sure to come by and check it out. Johnny's going to stand way up here and see it. Eric, that's an excellent picture. Please get that. And okay, so here we go. So Johnny, talk a little bit about your clown ministry, what you got going on.
It's kind of unique. When I came back this past year, God really put the thoughts into me, I'm not going to be able to do wrestling for the rest of my life. There's just no way. I'm 29 years old. I know you're still young. You're still a young guy. No, I know I'm still young, but I'm going to get to a point where I'm not going to be able to do this, and I want to play with my kids a little bit more, and I want to be able to exercise and stay in decent shape, Well, God put the thought into my mind of doing clown ministry and being more involved in puppets and mining and balloons and all that stuff, and He's opened up a big door to, reach the kids and all stuff like that, and I want to run with that, and that's really... After all this, that's where my focus is going, and I can't be more excited. I mean, it's kind of an emotional roller coaster because you got 10 years of memories over here, and then you got a new chapter getting ready to open over here. So in the middle, you got a little bit of an anxiety going on. I think it's going to be worth it.
So Johnny, what all does your clown ministry entail? What kinds of things are you going to be doing for local and area children?
Well,
Barry, he's not kidnapping anyone.
We're not talking about your personal life, Barry.
Yeah, I'm past that.
Oh. Well, anyhow, basically what is going to happen as far as our local church, we'll be doing a lot of things, but then we'll do a lot of things for surrounding churches, festivals possibly. Like next year, I got something going on for Relay for Life. I got a lot of different things just opening up, and actually by the day, God is opening up so many different things to be able to get something in motion, and it's simply amazing what is really on the other side of the coin really happening.
Okay, so Johnny, talk a little bit about what you're going to have as far as how did you come up with the idea for clown ministry? Obviously, your character here, but there's got to be something more to it.
Well, ever since I started wrestling, everybody always called me a clown. I never took the mantle. So, I mean, that thought was always there. But whenever I came back this past year, I think it was my second show that I was actually participating in. We was in Spurgeon, Indiana. We couldn't think of it the other day. Spurgeon, Indiana, and there was a festival, and there was a clown there. Her name was Miss Rosie Bottoms. I'll never forget her. She came up to me and her was just spitballing stuff and having a good time. And I mean, I had her break character and just, roll. She was just, laughing and having a good time. And she even told me, she said, you need to do this. You have the gift. You have the talent. You need to run with it. And it never sunk in till about a month or two later, and it just hit me. I was like, I think this is something God wants me to do. I think He's opening the door to do it, and I want to run with it. So I think that's kind of where the seed got dropped in beside the 10 years prior.
And we are running out of time, Johnny, but I want to give you just a quick second before we go. As always, 10 Count Podcast, we want to invite you to share your faith because we know you're strong in it.
Nothing is impossible with God. All things with men are impossible, but with God, all things are possible.
Well put, sir. Johnny Watts, thank you for being on the live 10 Count Podcast from TSW Night of Champions. Before we go, we have one more person I want to talk to, and he is a really great person. He helped me set all this up. Travis Fox, come here, sir. Give him a hand. Come on. Travis, thank you so much for helping me get all this set up.
What about me and Bareback?
I like you guys. Well, no, I don't. But still,
we are the men.
Dude, give Travis his moment. Come on.
You don't need his moment. You get back over there, Mike, where you're on.
Travis,
ring a bell.
Travis, let's not worry about these two clowns, guys. All right, Travis, buddy, you had something you wanted to say on 10 Count Podcast. You told me about it last night on Facebook. The mic is yours, sir.
Well, first of all, you're welcome, Jason. Second of all, I like to thank Barry Baker for giving me this opportunity to work for this company.
I didn't invite you. I don't think I did.
Anyway. And also I would like to say that tonight is a very special night with the Hall of Fame, where we are inducting the one, Eric Marlowe. I know he's up there watching this. Love you, brother.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Travis. We are going to wrap up the 10 Count Podcast.
By talking to me.
Go. What?
What you want?
I don't know. You came up to me. You're saying stuff in my ear. I don't know what you're saying, dude.
I'm just saying that me and Bareback are the men. We run this show. The women all be home having babies, to cooking supper, while the guys out here enjoying themselves.
And now we're going to have to censor this podcast.
I didn't say that.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it for the 10 Count Podcast live from TSW Night of Champions. Please follow us on Facebook. Check us out on iTunes, SoundCloud, Twitter. We're everywhere. YouTube. Thank you so much from me and myself and my brother-in-law and everybody at 10 Count Blog. Thank you. Special thanks again to TSW for allowing us to do our podcast live from Night of Champions this week. Before we go, let's get to some upcoming events. July the 9th, Tri-State Wrestling is back at the Blue Jeans Center in Monroe City, Indiana for TSW Unleashed. Doors open at 6 p.m. Eastern. Bell time is at 7. Tickets are $5 at the door. Kids 5 and under are free. July the 9th, WWE Live is in Danville, Illinois on the SummerSlam Heatwave Tour. They'll be at the David S. Palmer Arena beginning at 7:30 Central Time. Superstars scheduled to be there include Becky Lynch, Enzo and Cass, Bray Wyatt, Dean Ambrose, and more. Check out Ticketmaster or the WWE app for ticket information. July 14th, NXT Live is coming to Indianapolis at the Old National Center. 7:30 Eastern Time start on that show. Names on the card include Asuka, Bayley, Shinsuke Nakamura, Finn Balor, and Samoa Joe. Again, check out Ticketmaster or the WWE app for more information. July 16th, our newest partner, New Wave Pro Wrestling, presents the Clinton Grand Prix at the Eagles Lodge at 100 South Water Street in Clinton, Indiana. Names on the card include Blake Reed, Jay the Tank Oleander, Sergeant Stanley Roberts, Sam Knight, and Will Bray. Tickets are $7.50 in advance. Check out NWP's Facebook page for more information. At the door, tickets will be $12.50. Kids 5 and under are free. Doors open at 4:30. Bell time is at 5:30 Eastern Time. July 23rd, Tri-State Wrestling presents Proving Grounds from the Vincennes Eagles Club. It's the first time they've been back since Night of Champions, and you can expect some craziness. Tickets are $5 at the door. Doors open at 6 p.m. Bell time is at 7 Eastern. Kids 5 and under are free. Also on July 23rd, Coliseum Championship Wrestling presents Retaliation at the historic Veterans Memorial Coliseum at 300 Court Street in Evansville. Doors open at 6:30 Central Time. Bell time is at 7:30. Tickets are on sale now at the Coliseum box office. You can also get them at the door for $10 or $5 with active military or veteran ID. August 6th, United Wrestling Coalition in Georgetown, Illinois returns to the Homer Opera House at 101 North Main Street in Homer, Illinois for UWC Live. Show is $8 in advance, $10 at the door. Bell time is at 7 p.m. Central Time. Saturday, August the 13th, Sam Knight's Massive Wrestling presents Uprising at the Vincennes University Green Activity Center. This is the inaugural event for this company, and it features the first ever Dr. Isaiah Pops Watson Memorial Cup Tournament. Matches will be announced at a later date. Doors open at 6 for that show. Bell time's at 7 Eastern. Tickets are on sale now. Get them in advance for $5 or at the door for $10. September 7th, New Focus Wrestling presents Refocused at the Evansville Coliseum at 300 Court Street. Card features names like Rob Conway, Tracy Smothers, Teddy King, Canadian Kid, and more. Tickets are $8 at the door. Kids 5 and under and active military are free. Bell time is at 7:30 Central Time. Be sure to support your local indie promotions by checking them out on social media and their websites. Go to their shows, help someone working the indie scene get a little bit closer to their dreams. Find all of that information on our local indie promotions page at 10countblog.wordpress.com. Before we go, don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and SoundCloud, and then go and rate us. Help let the world know about 10 Count Podcast and 10 Count Blog. Get us on the new and noteworthy list there on iTunes. Also, don't forget to check us out on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also find links to all of those on this article at 10countblog.wordpress.com. You can also check out our social media and podcasts page and find them there. We are always accepting blog submissions. If you want to write something about wrestling, send it to us at 10countblog@gmail.com. It can be about any topic that you choose. Again, thanks to Rollick for allowing us to use Snorkeling into Oblivion as our theme song. Be sure to check them out on Facebook and download all of their music for free. Don't forget to visit us at 10countblog.wordpress.com. Again, subscribe on iTunes and SoundCloud and go rate us. Seriously, guys, it takes about 5 minutes. We'll be back next week with a guest to be announced a little bit later on. Until then, thanks for listening to the 10 Count Podcast.